Lachie Plowman, 19 games in 2021. He missed a couple, and he's such an interesting one. He really is, because a lot of people we all seem to miss what he brings to the side. And I've spoken about it a little bit with Liam Jones, in that when you're in that certain part of the ground, and you make mistakes, and everyone makes mistakes, but the defenders have they get it really tough, because when you make a mistake in that part of the ground, it gets highlighted, and we've spoken about the high-profile mistakes, and Lachie Plowman seems to fall into that category. And I actually think he does a lot more good than what he does bad. But because we're so frustrated, and because we're so keen for success, all the little things really annoy us, especially when we're giving up goals. But I do think most of the time the criticism against him is pretty unfair. And this is coming from someone that used to criticize him unfairly. I had my light bulb learning moment at the 2019 Best and Fairest, where he finished in the top 5. And, I think it was Dale Amos that spoke to Jed and Harrison on the Blues Footy podcast. I think it was towards the end of 2020. And you really got an insight into what the club and the coaches value from Lachie Plowman. And when you look at what he does, if you're looking for what he does, you're going to find some good things. If you're looking for what he doesn't do, you'll also find some good things. It all just depends on what you're looking for. Now, I like to have the glass half full approach, for sure. I want to believe in everyone. I like to believe that this group is going to bring us success. And the thing that Lachie Plowman does is he does a job. And in a team where there's a lot of people and a lot of high draft picks and a lot of stars, or so it seems, a guy that can just do a job defensively, I think is crucial. And I think there is definitely a way to get more out of him. Having said that, what I've noticed is when he does play well, you don't notice him. And that's the hard part, because when he doesn't play well, you do notice it. I feel like there's something in that with the criticism against him. He's got good size about him. He's athletic. He's unassuming. You don't hear much from him. And ultimately anyone that puts on the navy blue Guernsey and is available to play and, does all the hard yards, the preseason, all the running, all the effort, like it's a tough gig playing in this league, has my respect anyway. And he's someone that's been available for a while. He's pretty durable. And that is important, especially in a side like ours where we seem to get injuries to players, if not every week, then every second week. When it comes to moving forward, I think now that we've got Brodie Kemp emerging and coming through and, plying his trade as a defender, I'm not sure what the mix is going to be with, Lachie Plowman and Kemp and where it all fits in. But for the time being, as it sits, right now, Lachie Plowman plays on the small forwards. I know Liam Stocker did that a little bit this year, but for the most part, it's Lachie Plowman. If we come up against a team like a West Coast, for example, where they've got 3 talls in that forward line, Lachie Plowman will play tall, and he's a very rare commodity for a team. And I just think there's plenty to work with there. I don't think he's someone that you just write off and say, nah, we can't move forward with him. I've seen the notion online a bit about, you can't play, Marchbank and Plowman in the same defensive 6 or 7 when they're all fit and all of that. And look, we don't really know because we haven't seen them all play together again. But I'm a believer in Lachie Plowman. I'm a believer in the fact that he has a role to play and he does play it. And the club ultimately inside the 4 walls are happy with what he's doing. And that's enough for me. Obviously there are frustrating moments, but that's just all in the heat of the season and the week to week. Now that we're a little bit more removed from the season, and you strip it back a little bit, he does help the team. He definitely does, and he's a valuable member of the team. And I think just I need to remind myself of that at times, and maybe some of us do as well. Moving forward, some things I noticed were you can't question his willingness to attack the contest. The suspension this year for that hit on O'Meara, that was tough. But those are the moments that you ask for as a fan. You ask for players to attack the contest the way he did there. And, I think I just want to see more of that moving forward. Just another layer of physicality, another layer of, maturity. He's someone who, with his body language at times, I think can frustrate me And the reason why I say that is there's been a few instances, like I remember in round 2 against Collingwood, the smiling and the laughter, just little things like that. But ultimately, I'm not on the field, so I can't judge. If that's the way he goes about it, it is what it is. It's not a good look when we've been smashed. Things are not going our way. It's a rivalry game, and you don't see that combative body language, and maybe that is unfair as well. But it just does irk me. I just want to see our guys be a bit more serious when it comes to the game. And, I want to see the pain on their faces when we don't play well. And I think that instance in round 2 really, it just didn't sit well with me. I didn't like the look of it, especially after we had been, soundly beaten on that day. So they're just little things, but ultimately he's a good contributor for the club. Full respect to anyone that dons the navy blue, and I just hope that we can get more out of him. I'm not sure how Michael Voss and his panel of assistants are going to work with him or what they're going to do, but I'm excited to see what they can get out of him, and I think there is improvement for him. I think the role will be defined. I hope the role will be defined a bit more for him, and I hope he's a premiership player for us. I really do. That's really where I'm at. But what about you? How did you see his season? Are you evolving with the way that you watch him play? I know there are a lot of people out there that just don't necessarily appreciate the value or see the value. So if you're one of those, let us know in the comments, like, how can we get the best out of Lachie Plowman? What is he going to do for us moving forward? And we'll go from there.